Welcome to Addicted to Triathlon. Whether you've been doing triathlons for years or you want to do your first one and don't know how to start, listen to our podcast, read our articles, check out our videos, and ask us questions. We would love to be a part of your journey and become addicted to triathlon.
Welcome to Addicted to Triathlon, episode 6. What are we going to talk about, Kate?
Stress.
What about stress?
Stress, trying to do these triathlons.
Doing triathlons is stressful?
Stress of this crazy world, and then trying to do this crazy thing of triathlons. Trying to balance our lives, our crazy lives.
So there's other things besides being stressed from doing the workouts?
For sure.
Okay, like what?
Trying to find the best steak.
Trying to find the best steak. That's stressful.
Yeah, or what kind of margarita you want to have.
That's stressful?
Yeah.
Okay, what you and I find stressful is different. I guess that's normal, though, because some people, two of the same people can have the same situation, and one will be all stressed out about it and one will not. So...
have we had any stress this week?
You have.
Crazy work week.
Right, so that's one thing you can have is stress at work, which falls under, what's that, emotional?
Yeah.
Mental fatigue.
What else this week? We've had sinus problems.
Physical stress. Okay, so when we came back from Redding, California, we had stress. Traveling. So that can be stress. And I came back with an illness.
Did we talk about going in the lake last weekend?
No.
When we went into the lake, that was stress because we can talk about that later. But that was stressful because, it's scary. You don't know if something's going to get your feet.
Like the crocodiles that aren't in the lake that you keep saying are in the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. And the fish that are going to nibble on you.
At your toes.
Remember that? Or remember when you were walking down the little ladder into the...
Yeah.
And I said, oh, look at the two fish right around you.
Well, I freaked out because the what's the green stuff?
Algae.
The algae was sticking on me, and I thought it was a fish sucking on my arm.
Yeah, I think it was, some kind of... Yeah, I think it was algae, but it was not... No, it wasn't algae. It was like some plant.
It was a plant, a long, stringy plant.
Yeah, nobody stuck on you. You thought it was fish.
Yeah.
That was funny. But that was stress. That was for you, not me. That was funny for me. So what other stress is there? Oh, yeah, we mentioned a little bit about illness. So when we did come back from our trip to Redding, I had to go see the doctor because my allergies were really bad and got into my lungs.
Yeah, the California IA, sinus
I've never
problems.
Heard of that. IA?
California IA.
California?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant?
California IA.
Okay, so that, and that's something that, and when you're doing your workout schedule, you can be congested up in your head and continue to work out. But once it gets in your lungs, you need to stop.
Yeah.
So don't stress about stopping either, because some people stress out because they had to stop their workout.
I mean, it's better to stop your workout instead of stopping when you're racing. I mean, dealing with the emotion and training yourself to deal
physical
with it.
That you can't breathe. Because when we did our triathlon after that, our last one, I still had the effects of the respiratory problem. Because I noticed when I looked at my heart rate during the race, even in the swim, it shot up to 165. And it was at 165 the whole time.
Wow.
Which is my upper end of my, it's at my lactic acid threshold.
Yeah.
So even in the swim, I usually don't have it that high in the swim. It was that high in the bike. My bike's not usually that high. It's just my...
He's trying to hurry and beat me. That's what it was.
I was, but my body couldn't handle it. So...
No.
And then you passed me, like we said. So what other things? Death in the family. That's definitely a stressor.
a job change or a job promotion, even an exciting job promotion.
Because, you could be working extra hours.
Yeah.
The new job.
Learning something new.
Yeah, that can be stressful.
Yeah.
Loss of a job, that's definitely stressful. So these things all contribute to stress. And then we also had, with you, we found out Caitlin wasn't eating enough for her workouts when she was swimming one day, and
I already forgot the feeling.
you felt ill and you were going to throw up.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't figure out it was just not eating enough or the function of the water.
You're drinking the chlorine.
I probably was drinking a lot of chlorine. I think I drank a lot.
So we had to work on that so that she wouldn't drink the pool water and breathe properly and learn how to just get it out when it sloshes in her mouth.
And also, when you're not breathing properly, you're probably kicking too much as well. So, I mean, I was practicing not kicking, but
so that brought on
something was off.
That brought on stress. So as a side note,
but it didn't happen till the end.
No, and then it affected your next workout.
Yeah, then I was like nervous and stressing because I was expecting to throw up again in the pool.
So then what we figured out actually was going on was she was following her calories with her app.
Yeah.
And she was eating enough calories, but wasn't taking into account the calories she was burning. So instead of just having a 500 calorie deficit, she only had 500 calories total.
No, it wasn't total.
Yeah, 700 total. After you took your what was it, 2,200 calories you ate minus your...
Yeah, I had like 5,000 or 3,000 or 2,000 I was under for the week.
Yeah, but for the day you were only a net calorie intake of 700.
Yeah.
Which you were on a plan of 1,900, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So if you do that, you don't fuel yourself, you're going to...
Because basically in my workouts, like our weekend workouts, the big weekend, we burn like 1,000 to 1,500.
Yep.
And then in the week, I burn 500 to 600.
Yep.
I don't know what
we had one. You did 1,000. That's what we had a hard workout one day. I think we were doing track repeats.
Yeah.
So that was a killer.
It just adds up.
So she was underfueled, which added to her stress. So then I had to cancel her workout the next day, which added to more stress. Because you're like, I need to make it up. So with the workouts that we do, we have a set plan, but we can adjust based off of how the athlete was feeling. In this case, Caitlin. She was stressed, which adds to, you might as well think of it as taking calories away when you're stressed out.
Yeah, you feel your heart going faster, so you're burning more.
Could be burning more, but it just takes away from you your...
makes you more tired.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It makes you more short of breath because you're breathing a little heavier.
So once we figured that out, we adjusted your eating. So at the most you would only have would be a 500 calorie deficit because you're still wanting to lose weight.
Yeah.
And that's at the most. So we increased your protein.
So basically when you're trying to work out, when you're working out that much, you just kind of don't really have to try to lose weight. You just burn enough calories.
It'll burn itself.
As long as you're not having a bunch of cake and pizza every single day or bad stuff.
So we got
good calories.
We got you some protein powder so you would make smoothies, and you added a little bit of fat, MCT oil to it.
Blueberries, a little banana, got some nut butter.
Yeah, so that will help increase the calories on those days when she needs to fuel for her workout that she's going to have that day.
And it's not so heavy in your stomach.
Right. And also on your morning swims, when you go out early, now you have to wake up a little bit earlier so you can get some food in you. Before, you were in the mornings, you were working out without eating anything.
Yeah.
So now she's eating something. So she'll have something in her system that'll be digesting, something that's easily digestible.
So when you're going training even more for like a full Ironman, oh,
Yeah, you better be eating.
you're going to be eating all the time.
Right. And you're only halfway through your training. So I think we need to buy a couple cows and put them in the backyard. So you can eat. Yeah, we also found out you weren't eating enough protein, so that adds to the stress.
Yeah, basically the protein and the fat. I was eating enough carbs, but...
Right, which was supposedly supposed to be fueling you during your workout, but you were such a deficit.
The protein probably sticks more with you.
Well, plus it helps heal your muscles. So if you don't have it, you're not recovering.
Yeah.
Okay, another one is injuries. So injuries, setbacks, depending on the kind of injury you have. I actually had an injury. I was racing the kids on the track, and I ruptured my patellar tendon. That's the tendon underneath your kneecap that connects your kneecap to your leg on the bottom part, and had to go to the doctor and get that repaired. I had to do rehab on that, where I would go running in the pool and then eventually running in the treadmill and then finally able to run. So those kind of injuries that you have, obviously you have to change your training.
So like most people would like just quit, but
Right. Yeah.
so
They have to.
now it makes you feel better, right?
Yes, especially being able to walk and then eventually run in the pool and then start up back on a treadmill. I had to wear a brace for a while.
Mm-hmm.
A metal brace, so that my knee wouldn't go wonky. But yeah, so you do some rehab and get it going again. Other kind of injuries you had, your Achilles heel was hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tight.
It was tight. But when you start running in the mountains,
Yeah, it was better.
because you got to work it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think when it was tight, we were running up like some little stupid little hills here,
Mm-hmm.
and it just overuse. But like the mountains, your dad said like it's your ankle moves different.
Because it's not flat.
Yeah,
It's not paved. Right.
so it's moving different ways and working it.
Before we had plantar fasciitis, so we had to change up our run so that we wouldn't have plantar fasciitis for a long time, because that hurts.
Yeah,
Let's see. So those kind of physical
that-
things
it can disrupt,
disrupts you. It's
setback.
So what else do you have there?
Just the injuries. Just set you back.
Okay.
And then you get worried about injuring it again. So you're stressing, trying to baby it.
Yeah. But one of the main things is when you're stressed out, you need to think of it as a workout, because the stress, your body doesn't really know the stress of being stressed emotionally
Or
physically.
even I'll have to say, during a woman's monthly menstruation period time, your body's working, you're stressed out, you're hot, you're in pain, you're tired. That's a stress.
Right. Yeah. Any of those things that help, that works on your body, where your body's trying to repair itself, and especially the mental fatigue that you get.
Mhm.
Yeah. Those are things that you need to consider. Do I need to work out today? If it's a mental type of fatigue where a workout would help you, then by all means do that. But if you
Go too hard.
if you are so fatigued mentally that you just don't feel like it,
Well, like when I was in school, before it helped to go swimming, like the deep breathing, trying to breathe in, breathe out, swimming with the water, that really, really, really helps with anxiety. And
right? But you weren't swimming 1,000
I know
yards.
but I mean, just if someone's just doing a little sprint, Just a little sprint triathlon practicing the swimming part. It helps.
Right. So you can
Really, really helps.
you compare back what workout you're going to do. We've adjusted Caitlin's workouts a little bit when she's stressed out, just to make sure if she is going to work out that it's not going to put her over the top where her body is just not going to be in a position to repair itself properly or be able to absorb any kind of training. So working with a coach or working with some other person in the triathlon community to hear what they have done in the past about those kind of situations will help. And there are just some things where you're just going to say, not today. I'm not going to go today.
Yeah.
Because one thing that can happen is you can get injured in those times as you're trying.
You're fatigued already.
Yeah, your body's already stressed. And then you're going to push your body more and stress it out more.
You're breathing heavier. Yeah.
You can also do some kind of mental training. One of the things that we've done in the past is when you've had a workout where you're actually feeling good and okay, like it's raining outside. Caitlin likes to run in thunderstorms.
Oh, it's the best. It is so, it's relaxing.
I highly, I do not encourage running in thunderstorms.
I'm sure if you ask other people.
So she's run in the rain before and run in really cold temperatures, because you never know when you're actually going to be in a race that kind of practice.
Or the heat.
Yeah, or the heat. That kind of practice will actually, you can revert back to it when you're in the race. So remember that one, you were actually doing a half marathon. It was cold and rainy.
Yes.
And the kids and I were just freezing.
It was so much fun.
And you thought it was fun because you've practiced running in the cold rain before.
Yeah. Well, your adrenaline is pumping.
And do you remember you slipped and you fell and your knee was bleeding?
Yeah, I didn't feel it.
And you didn't even notice it.
No.
You ran by us, we're like, your knee's bleeding.
I'm like, what? I seriously didn't even feel it.
So there's other types of, if you're ever going to do a long distance like half marathon or Ironman.
People doing half Ironman and a full Ironman, they have a bunch of blood all over them and they finish.
Yeah, some of the bike crashes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen
They
them.
finish the race.
So you have to practice some kind of mental training.
You have to practice crashing and hurting yourself.
Hopefully not that hard. But if it happens, then, chalk it up
Mental
as
toughness.
That's right.
Endurance. Endure.
So what if you practice a lot of these things enough, especially when you're practicing long distances, 3-hour runs, 3-hour bike rides, you get a mental toughness that you actually get used to. Like when I did my half Ironman in Texas, in Galveston, Texas, I actually started cramping on the bike of the last 10 miles of this 56-mile bike ride. And I came into transition, I was wiped out. And I remember just going to the porta potty and putting my head on the porta potty and going, what am I doing? And then the mental toughness kicked in and it's like, well, it's only 13.1 miles. You can try to walk it or shuffle, walk and run. Yeah. And I ended up finishing it. So,
doing these triathlons, it helps with endure other stuff, your regular life. It's like, well, I fell off the bike and crashed, and so this little thing in life is not as bad as this other thing.
Well, that reminds me, we need to do flat practices. So we're going to take you out 20 miles out and give you a flat on your bike, and then you said you would quit if you got a flat.
I would.
No, you're not. We're going to practice it. One of the things that we do
But not in the heat.
No, we'll wait till late or mid-September, because that'll be when you're really doing your long rides. So training stress is something, that's what you're trying to do to your body, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to
you're ripping your muscles,
and
then they heal, then they rip again.
Because you're trying to get it's going to increase your stamina. And you're looking for a sport-specific gain out of it.
And your core is going to get stronger.
Yeah, so you will get stronger and stronger and stronger. So when we start off a triathlon training, we start off doing base work, which is just, you're just going to go out, you're going to have fun, and it's just a set time. You're going to go out and go. So if you're starting completely at the beginning, we talked about go ride your bike 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And just go do that. Doesn't matter how far you go.
Just go have fun.
Yeah. So
Just enjoy it.
go out, just move your body. Same thing with a run. You can start by walking,
Bread and walk.
walk a half mile, then walk 3/4 of a mile, and a mile, and try to do a walk run. And eventually you'll be able to run a mile.
Yeah.
So those are the base training that you start with. And then the next thing we do is we start setting up what's called periodization training. And usually what you're doing is you're increasing your load 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So you're kind of ramping it. And then the next week you recover. So you have a less intense week that other week. So we started with you with 3 week. Remember we were doing 3-week training?
Yeah.
And you weren't being successful that there.
No. So like in May, it was like the middle of May, it was like 455, and then the next week of intensity minutes, and then the next week it went down to 280, and then now it's like up to 774 the first part of June.
Yeah.
Minutes. It goes up, down, right?
Right.
And
it should go, for you, it's 2 weeks of intense training, which is not really that intense. It's just, you're still doing volume, and you're still trying to get up there.
yeah.
So we do that, but we have to back it off on the 3rd week to let your body recover and absorb your training.
Yeah.
That means your body is going to heal. You're going to start feeling the weird niggles, little pains here and there.
And if you get a fancy old Garmin watch, an old Garmin watch, it's really kind of cool. Like you can see your training readiness, you can see your heart rate, how it's been, your body battery, which means like your heart, with your heart rate and your
HRV
and your stress, and it tells me if I can work out, if I'm ready to work out or not, how much energy I have left.
We look at that and see how she's doing. We can really tell when she's had a stressful day at work, because I'll ask her what her body battery's at and how good she slept too, because if you don't sleep properly, that's going to add to your stress.
Oh yeah, major.
Yes. So
yeah, I'm doing sleep as a training.
She's training herself to sleep 8 hours now.
It is so hard to sleep 8 hours.
Right, especially when you're waking up early.
Yeah.
So we go to bed really early now.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things that we do for her periodization training.
And yours too.
Yeah, I do it too. And then when we get closer to a race, then we start doing what's called tapering off. The intensity drops. You're still doing some kind of workout.
Yeah,
but you recover.
And then
repair.
You're doing like hardly nothing, and it drives you crazy.
Yeah, and those are the times when you really feel things.
That's when you really need to drink a margarita.
Yeah. Your knees hurt, your back hurt, your shoulder hurts.
And you're not doing anything. That's so weird, because most people would say, well, if I would worked out as much as you, I would be aching.
Oh, well, while we're on that subject, why don't we talk about that? So, do you ever feel like sore the next day?
No.
Because we're doing the training right. Because you're not pushing your body to the point where your lactic acid is built up.
Do it.
Right. So you're able to absorb, and then you go a little harder the next week. And if you start getting sore, then that means unless you were planning to do a high intensity workout, which we sprinkle those in every now and then where you will get sore, But for the most part, it's your training load, your training volume that we work on to increase your efficiency, so you're able to go longer and still maintain.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't say they get a coach and they don't tell their coach how they're feeling, so they just keep working out, and then they get hurt.
And they get so stressed out.
So John is so nice that he helps make my plans and his plans of training plans. And so I try to communicate and tell him that.
Right, but I have to ask you questions too, because it's a two-way street. I think you asked me if I should coach other people, and I really can't, because the amount of discussion, and I can see how you feel. I can't really see how people feel every day.
I mean, you can do it over a Zoom.
You could, but you'd have to do it. I mean, how often do I see you? I see you every day for a long time. And then I can see when you're grumpy. And I can tell there's something's going on. I can't tell that with a 15 to 30 minute Zoom call with someone. And people have a tendency to go, "Oh, I'm doing so great. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Give me more," And then it's like those kind of training plans are ones that will set you up for failure and injury. Yeah, I'm not into that. No, I want you to be able to.
Then they can blame you.
Yeah, I want you to continue to work, because the training is just a part of your life, because it's part of your addiction.
Yeah.
Positive addiction. It's part of your goals that you do, but we don't want that to hinder the other things going on in your life.
Yeah.
It's something that you do to make yourself better, and you have a goal that you're trying to reach.
Like you're stressed out, so you try to ride your bike, and then you crash, and then you get a concussion, and then you can't go to work, and you have to call into work, and then you have to go get a doctor's note, and then your bosses are mad you're not coming to work, so it just keeps adding stress. Then you have no PTO.
You're bad. Yeah, it's just snowballs.
Yeah.
So, all right. Is there anything else that we have on stress?
Just make sure you set realistic goals, and just remember to have fun. This workout, triathlon thing, or even marathons or 3-mile runs, races, it's not all completely serious. It's just fun. It's challenging. It's challenging, helps you learn to endure.
I like what you said about realistic goals.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I used to ride my bike, and I didn't ride for a long time. Or actually, let's use the track. So I could run one lap around the track in under a minute. And it's like, when I was young.
Yeah.
So my brain thinks, oh, you can do that now. Nope.
No. Different.
No. As you age, you may be, depending on where you were back then and where you are today, set realistic goals. That's
And even if you're doing the podium, you can still set realistic and have fun at times.
Well, speaking of podium, you almost podiumed in the last triathlon.
Almost.
You got 4.
For those other women need to be ready for the next one.
Yeah, she got 4th in her last triathlon.
Yeah.
But I was her rabbit. That's what I'll say. I was her rabbit to help push her.
Yeah, I was chasing him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all we have for stress?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you've got some things to tell us.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're now on Spotify, Amazon Music, or Audible. All those, you can go to those and download or upload, whatever.
Download our podcast.
Download our podcast. Our website can be found at Addicted2Triathlon.com. Contact us we have emails now too. John at Addicted2Triathlon.com. Caitlin
That's not Caitlin.
Kate at Addicted2Triathlon.com. or you can use the contact page on our website. You can feel free to leave a comment at the bottom of each of our website posts, and make sure you stay addicted and try.
All right. Bye.
See ya.